Hi, I'm Kristin Davis, and I want to know, are you a Charlotte? Welcome back, everybody, to Are You a Charlotte? Part 2. Thanks for joining us. Here we go. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to this episode. But it is fun. One of the things which is so obvious, obviously, but I'm just going to name it. One of the things that is joyful about rewatching this is that because we all know things that happen, you can go back, but we all have this vocabulary, which is kind of amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
And, due to our writers, writers are so important.
Yes, oh my goodness. Writers are everything. If it's not there on the page, there's nothing you can do.
I know. I mean, in the beginning of the show, Charlotte wasn't really on the page. And I really stressed, quietly, because I didn't want to complain.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I would just be like, oh, what am I doing? Right? And you're trying to bring you're trying to bring subtext to like nothing that's really there. Yeah. And then luckily as it went, because also we were based on a column in a paper that was about gossip in New York, right? So like, all of them had to be kind of fleshed out and deepened out. And obviously Carrie changed in her own way from the true Candace Bushnell.
Yes,
they deviated pretty significantly. Yeah. But I think for Charlotte, until we kind of added some of our writers, and Jenny had grown up on the Upper East Side and kind of knew that life. And Michael Patrick took some time, like he said to me when he came on the show, which was first season, Darren brought him on to write. He said, I looked at your character and I was like, I don't know what to write for her. And then over time, of course, it came to him, and he saw me and her and the world, and thank God. Thanks, Michael. Thank God it came to him. But it is interesting to look back sometimes. And I also think for myself, and you're younger than me, but the vibe still in the 90s in New York was that not necessarily like the Charlotte version of like married with children, right? But like you were looking to get coupled up. It wasn't necessarily clear yet that this kind of growing contingency of single women were going to be like a power move or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but like at a certain point in the 2000s, there would be like at one point they put the four of us on the cover of Time magazine and they wrote, "Who needs a husband?"
Wow.
I have it hanging in my closet.
Wow.
It makes me laugh.
That's amazing.
I know. And remember Ally McBeal?
Yes.
Like there were a lot of kind of conversation
around that, because the assumption before those conversations started was that is the goal. Even if you also work or whatever, like at some point you're going to lay down your career to do the husband, children, all those other things.
Yep. It's so interesting to think about, but I see it in so many weird details when you look back at the shows. Like Miranda, I never thought of her, but the episode a couple of episodes ago was the chicken dance where there's a wedding of her interior designer meets this guy that she has coming from London to visit. It's a long story. She has hopes for the guy, but then they fall in love at first sight and get married. And she reads the poem. Carrie reads the poem. And cries because Big gets up and doesn't listen to her poem. It's very loaded. It's such a loaded. And then the best part for me is at the end, we're all standing there. We've gone through a whole drama at this wedding, and they throw the bouquet and it lands at our feet. And we're like, okay, bye. We leave.
None of you pick it up. Oh, that's awesome.
I know. It's so great.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to think that was like new or whatever,
that was
or
a
different.
New idea. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah. Okay, back to the episode. Here we go. Oh, yes, Roger's used. Poor Roger. And then, here we go with the Jason Thoreau.
Yes, the Jason storyline.
Oh, my gosh. First of all, he's just so adorable and talented.
So cute.
God.
Oh, so funny and wonderful.
I mean, so funny and wonderful. And like, just to watch his career, another one where like, I mean, I don't know in his career what he'd done before or how we knew him, but he was definitely, Sarah knew him, I believe. And I think that what had happened with this episode was that they were hoping she would get Matthew.
Oh.
Because couldn't you see Matthew in that part?
For sure.
Right.
I mean, yes.
And I think that Matthew was like, no. And I think even Sarah was like,
no, it's a little
seems weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Like they did Plaza Suite together, which is amazing.
For sure. But just like a one-off, and particularly this storyline is. No,
that would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and just I think distracting for the audience too.
Absolutely,
they would spend all those scenes being like, "Oh, they're actually married." That's I'm watching them kiss.
Absolutely. Yes. So I think we were like, "Hey, Justin, come back." and just cut your hair and put on some glasses. So we meet Justin. They're adorable. They're both writers. They met at a pen luncheon, which I love. Yeah. And then she gives him advice about, what he should or shouldn't wear. She says, never go sleeveless. He's going to do a GQ shoot because she says no one ever gets nominated for a Pulitzer after they've gone.
Taking their shirt off.
Yes. Yeah. Too funny. But then later on, he takes his shirt off and it's great. Yes. So thank God. But that's not at the photo shoot. So then we meet the family. And this is kind of the background of the theme of the story, which is, are you dating the person or the family? Do you feel more strongly about the family than the person? Because you can tell once they get there, not that she doesn't seem into him. She does.
She does.
But she really likes
the family is really something.
Yeah, yes. They really are. And they're so kind of quintessentially New York. Yes. The dad is a professor at Columbia. The mom is a writer, documentarian. Yes, who reads Carrie's column, tells her she's an icon, which kind of cracked me up because it's Valerie Harper saying it. I mean, I was like, wow, I don't remember any of this. This is amazing. Yeah. And they have these kids and there's a lot of good food in New York and
chatter, banter.
Right. It's awesome. And you can tell that Carrie loves it. Oh, and the girls are named Franny and Zoe.
Yes.
Which is hysterical.
Yes, hysterical.
Oh my God. So funny. So funny. So then Carrie's obviously very seduced by that life, by the lifestyle and the kind of thoughtful, conversation and characters and whatnot. Now we're at the park. We discussed the hitting on the head of the child, which is so crazy, about the divorce. Yeah. Oh, now we're at my house. I love that I'm suddenly just making everybody muffins. So Charlotte,
because the muffin will fix that brother marriage problem.
I know it's sad, but it's kind of funny. So here I am with my brother, my poor brother, who we're never going to see ever again. It's so crazy to watch, but it's funny because I also felt like there's like a weird vibe between me and the brother. Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. Like it doesn't seem that comfortable. Like I'm kind of cheerful and trying to cheer him up, but it doesn't seem like we're super close.
Actually, have a real relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's like, you don't even know. He's kind of like mad and like, you don't even know. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Ugh. And then I love that I do try to give him advice. Like, how hard did you try?
And he's like, when was the last time you had a long-term relationship?
And I'm like, go. Yeah. Good call, brother. Yeah. That's right. Put me in my place. But the adorable thing, I'm just going to tell the whole storyline now because it is so hysterical. So we see the brother. I tell everybody about the brother. They make fun of the brother. Then I want to introduce him to my friends, meaning Carrie. And Carrie brings Samantha, and I'm all like weirdly, I mean, it's almost like a high school vibe. Yes, yeah. Right? Totally. Like it's not Charlotte at her most mature at all. Yes, at all. Not at all.
But which I didn't mind because family, sometimes we do kind of regress.
That's a good point. No, that's very valid. It's very valid because I think also we were not afraid to show our characters bad, qualities or whatever, their shortcomings, so to speak.
So to speak.
Look how I did that. That was good. So Carrie brings Samantha, and of course Samantha takes one look at him and he takes one look at her. Next thing you know, it's the morning at my apartment and I walk out and Samantha's there without any pants on, trying to find coffee filters. Yep. And I'm like, what are you doing there? And then she is oblivious and kind of adorable. Yeah, like so trying to make coffee for all of us. It's so cute. Yeah, cute. I know. Shame in a way that Charlotte couldn't just be like, yay, Samantha's here. It's a party.
Great. We're going to have breakfast together.
It's true. It's true. I kind of felt that way when I walked in. Like it could have been adorable, but not for Charlotte because Charlotte has judgments and rules. Absolutely. So then I say this very mean thing that she should be in the guidebook for New York because she's open all the time, which is like, such an ick thing to say. Yeah. Yeah. And luckily she leaves and she does look really hurt.
Yeah, very genuinely hurt.
She really does.
And your brother stands up for her and goes after
her. Which is
nice. Really nice.
That was really nice. And also then connects back to when he tries to say to him, this is what really happened. I haven't had sex in 2 years. Yeah. And she made me feel great. Yeah. And that does seem to land for Charlotte. Yep. Thank God. I feel like that's like a good moment of Charlotte learning something. Yes. And so luckily then I make muffins for Samantha
and you guys
and go to her door. And she luckily forgives me. I say, I'm sorry. And then she smacks me on the butt, which is something she always did, which is interesting. That was a Kim ad-lib that she was very fond of. And I was always like, oh, but it was fine. It was kind of an interesting thing because it's like kind of a old fashioned masculine energy thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes
and
sense,
also
though.
like a generational that you guys are friends, but also you're a kid too. Like, and
definitely. It's very loving and funny in a weird way, unexpected and funny. And I also you can tell that I don't expect her to do it, which is also funny because she does do it off and on throughout the years. Now, this is the whole thematic situation.
No, yes.
Oh, good.
We're getting to the,
yes, the thematics are so good about the family. And I love this. This is the Justin.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Justin's poor problem. It's not Justin, of course. It's the character. It's the character. Yes. So this is the sad thing. And I felt so bad for Carrie in this whole storyline. Yeah. I hadn't remembered this at all, right? So I'm basically like a first-time viewer because you're thinking, this guy's fantastic.
Yeah. He's adorable. He's a writer. His family is awesome.
Yes.
And yet.
And then they start making out in Carrie's kitchen. And then he, ejaculates. I'm just going to have to say it.
Yeah.
So he has what's it called? It has
premature.
Thank you. Premature ejaculation. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
I know. And poor Carrie just looks kind of like, oh dear.
Yeah.
And then you can see that she's like, the wheels are turning. What do I do? How do I? Yeah. And, at a certain point, once she meets the family, then she just wants to talk about the family. And then at one point he goes, I think this would be the next scene. He goes, oh, I don't want to talk about my family right now because they're kissing, right? But she now is kind of infatuated with his mother in a way,
totally.
Which is adorable. But of course he wouldn't want to talk about his mother. Oh, I love the part where so she has a scene with the mother played by Valerie Harper. When Valerie Harper says, I always talked very openly to my kids.
Sex with my children.
Right. Yes. Since they were 2. And of course, as a mom, I'm thinking that's amazing. She did that. Right. Yeah. Then come to find out, Justin's character says, when Carrie tries eventually to talk to him about this, he goes, I'm so sick of talking about sex. I've had to do it since
I was 2 years old.
Right. And you're like, ooh, backfire.
Yes.
Backfire situation.
Yeah. But it's so sad too, because, they try a few times and they keep running into this same problem. And eventually Carrie is like, we're going to take it slow. And she's really trying to not bail,
right.
She's trying to actually, and he just cannot talk about it. He cannot deal. He cannot try to work it out.
And he seems mad. Which is not good. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
Because my feeling is you can work on anything
as long as
people
you
want
stay
to,
open
right?
and communicate and But he can't.
No, he's mad. And it's so sad because he's there, he's shirtless, he's so dreamy. Yeah. He's Justin, but yet can't even talk to her about it. And he seems mad that she's trying.
Yes.
And that's a terrible trait.
Yes. Yeah. No,
Not
that's
workable.
just if you can't have communication, then that's, there's nothing you can do.
Done. No. And it's really sad. And then she realizes that she really has to break up with his mother.
Mom, I know.
And that's so sad. And this is when we have your wonderful scene.
Yes.
So you guys go back. We're back at the apartment with the family, and everybody is perched on kind of small furniture.
Yes.
Which is kind of
around
cute.
this little living room.
Yeah,
we're all just dotted around with our plates of food.
It's so cute. And you are the girlfriend of
I'm
the sister.
the girlfriend of Justin's little sister.
Got it. Which is Franny or Zoe? Don't know. One of them.
I think Zoe, but I don't know.
Got it. Yeah, one of them. Yeah. And you did they say you're going camping or something?
We're going camping. Well, Valerie at one point is like, whichever one it is, tells me that you're going camping, which I thought was really funny because even though this family is amazing and all the things, there's also is a sense that that mother definitely inserts herself into her children's lives.
Yeah.
And Sarah and I, she has this voiceover. Sarah and I had this moment of looking at each other, and she has this voiceover where she says something like,
because you're outsiders.
We're outsiders.
Yes.
Like Gemma and I looked at each other like the people, I can't remember exactly, something like we didn't have the passports. And and there was a feeling of like, even though it's amazing to have like a family like that, like within reason, like at some point, the mothers do need to give their children the space to run their thing.
And it's almost too close.
It's almost too close. Yeah.
I have a family I know who's like this, and every family member is amazing.
Yeah.
But the boys in the family have challenges when it comes to the girlfriends in terms of everyone approving and or accepting.
Yeah.
And I feel for them because like, on the one hand, it's the closeness, like just as a mother, you look at that and you think like, isn't that amazing to have your grown children stay
so close?
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel wonderful?
Yes.
But then also you need enough space
that they can like make their own new life.
Yeah. Like try things
and choose people.
Right. It's interesting.
And that like when Carrie then is like, I'm going to leave because Justin Theroux is like banging around and basically having a tantrum about cream cheese.
He's having a grown up tantrum.
Yeah.
And Rhoda, I almost said, Valerie is like, it's out there. She's kind of trying to ignore him. But he's like, where is it?
Yeah. So Carrie tries to leave and, Valerie Harper's character like follows her and basically says, look, his last girlfriend was less discreet and, I know the irony. I know the problem is in the irony that he's a short story writer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Carrie's like, I cannot discuss this with you. She's like, we can talk about anything. And it's like,
no, that's mortifying. That's mortifying.
It really is.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, this is the other thing that went through my head. I'm thinking to myself, like, the mom needs to get him into some therapy.
Yes.
Right? Like if she's in the middle of it, then she needs
to actually be productive and
help the actual problem.
He needs talk therapy and also like
a doctor
to help work that out. There's things that can be done.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there is. Aren't there commercials for this? ED, right?
Yes, there are.
I don't know what it is.
I mean, I don't know back in the day, but I'm sure.
Right, back in the day, right.
I'm sure there are things that could be done.
Definitely
to help
something.
This man out.
Totally. And let's hope he got help in the future at some point. But then the sweet scene where the voiceover says, I realized that I needed to break up with his mother. And she's basically trying to say, it's not you. You're wonderful. Yeah. And then the mom is trying to fight for the relationship. Yes. And then she says something crazy like 75% of marriages are sexless. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, no.
I know. And I loved Carrie's reaction to that. She's just like, we cannot be satisfied with those numbers.
No.
Like to just settle for that? It's
no.
No.
And I mean, on the other hand, Valerie Harper's saying, that's not the only thing. And I think
which is true.
Right.
It's not the only thing, but it is one of the things.
Right. But it's also interesting if you look at the way that our characters all talk about sex, because obviously that's part of the thing that we do, right? Yeah. Which is freeing and amazing. But then it sometimes almost seems like the focus goes too much
to that.
Right. And luckily, through Charlotte's whole marriage thing, we have some growth in that area for her at least, right? But everyone's different in terms of how important sex is to them or not or whatever.
That's right.
Right.
Well, and also because the show is exploring like the starts of lots of relationships, that is an exciting part about the beginning of a relationship, right? So there's a lot of focus on that at the beginning of a relationship. And then obviously, hopefully everything evolves together.
Right.
But if that thing is broken at the beginning, then it's like, oh, then where's this going to go? Because
absolutely. And especially if the person can't talk about it, like in the way that Carrie really tries, which I was so happy that she did. Because I didn't remember the storyline at all, right? So I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Yeah. But she hung in there.
Yeah, totally.
And she really tries. And maybe it's because she loves his family, but also he's adorable and interesting.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
And what's weird is like, on some level, it almost feels like he has a blind spot because this keeps happening, right? But then he comes back in all like haughty and flirtatious and like, let's like make a moment of this, which is going to be done in 30 seconds.
Totally. It's almost like he almost seems unaware.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell I'm debating what I should say now. I have had one relationship where this was kind of a problem, not to the extent, because this is very extreme, this situation in the show, right? Yeah. But I did have one relationship. And, sometimes I think like, should I say something?
Yeah.
Or should I not? Should I? Am I okay with? You're just like, what? Am I okay with it? Am I not okay with it?
Well, and I think, not to make like gross generalizations, but I think as women, we want to facilitate people feeling good about themselves. Yeah. And sometimes we're like, maybe the fix comes in just like making things nice for them. And then they'll feel confident enough, and confidence instead of going right to the problem, which might make them feel insecure. And then that compounds the problem.
No, that's so true. And that's what's so awkward. And I thought that the way that Carrie did it in the show was she's so loving and sweet.
So loving
and that's why when he's just like, what?
Yeah. And then she's like, we have to talk about,
because it's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
It's pretty extreme. Yeah. My situation was not that extreme, but I also felt like the person that I was involved with had some understanding about it, because there were things that he would do to like focus on me, so to speak. But I was like, that's too much focus on me.
Yeah. Right. Yes. I want this to be like a communal experience.
Yeah. But then in reality, I thought it through and I thought, oh, that is kind of a mechanism to take the focus off this kind of thing. It wasn't as bad. It definitely wasn't as bad. But at a certain point, I was like, this is just weird. I don't feel like I can talk about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about the show, that the show is trying to take like the lid off of all of the different things and say you can talk about it.
You can talk about it. Yeah.
Right.
And that's the only way to try to solve anything.
Absolutely. Right. I try to tell my 7-year-old this, like we got to talk about the feelings. We got to talk about the feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I can get him to. It's not easy. Let's talk about what you're working on. Tell me everything. So as I said, I'm a big fan.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Not even knowing that you had been on our show. I've just been a watching fan.
Thank you.
I didn't even think I knew that you were married to Alan and didn't even know that connection. I was just like, she's amazing and so unique.
Thank you.
Yes. And I love everything you've done, because I think you get to play this, like we touched on a bit, you get to play kind of more masculine characters. But you're yet this tiny little,
it's
I know
amazing. It's been fun. It's been a funny journey, but I mean, one that I've been grateful for, because you do hear about women's roles being marginalized or whatever. But when you're given these roles of women who have kind of an internal power, then you get to live that out. And
absolutely.
Those are interesting stories.
Good point.
So anyway, most recently, I don't know if you know the show For All Mankind. I'll admit that I wasn't familiar with it at all. It's this great sci-fi show on Apple TV, and the structure is very interesting. Each season jumps a decade.
Oh.
So it starts in 1969. It's a revisionist history of what if Russia got to the moon first.
Oh, wow.
Which launched this incredible space race.
Okay.
And then your main characters from season 1, you get to watch them age throughout the course of their lives.
Cool.
It's very cool. So every season they have to bring in new characters, because it's a full decade later and what's happening. And now we're on the moon, and now we're on Mars, and now we're,
wow.
So I got to join in season 5 as one of the new main characters of season 5. And, I mean, there's so much storyline and everything, but it's coming out this fall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, my gosh.
But I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Coming out this fall.
Amazing. And tell us about John Hamm.
And John Hamm.
We love John Hamm.
Yeah, we love John Hamm. And then I've just signed on to do a limited series with John Hamm called American Hostage. That's coming out on MGM Plus.
Got it.
And it's a very interesting story based on a true story. In the 70s, a man was taken hostage in kind of a public way in Illinois, and asked the kidnapper asked to be interviewed live by kind of this famous Illinois radio journalist.
Wow.
And that man agreed to do it. And just like the role of journalism and the role of us as citizens, like what our place is in just helping.
Well, that's fascinating.
It's really like riveting story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I cannot wait to see that. Yeah. How incredible. I have a really important question.
Okay.
Are you a Charlotte?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I think I'm scrappy. I grew up scrappy.
Tell me. Okay.
I grew up in like Texas with like chickens in my backyard.
Oh my God, I love that. But that doesn't mean that you're not a Charlotte, because you are wearing a pussy bow blouse with bows.
I know. I did put on this blouse on purpose just to like tip it in that direction a little bit. I thought this was just your everyday wear.
No,
I think I'm a little scrappier than Charlotte. Like she was always so put together.
That's true.
And
that's one of her hallmarks.
And most days I do not look like this. Most days I'm just a little. Yeah.
So like, would you put yourself more in a Miranda kind of?
So I think I'm a little bit ambitious like a Miranda.
Got it.
I think I'm just pieces.
Which is fantastic.
Of all of them.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit like scattered like Carrie. I'm a little, I don't know. I
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, there are people who talk about that we're all parts of one woman, which I find interesting. And it depends who's saying that, whether I'm annoyed by that or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because all women can be everything, right?
Well, of course, all women can be everything.
And you can be also these other things, and it doesn't mean that you're just parts or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
I'm Jorge Ramos.
And I'm Paola Ramos.
Together we're launching The Moment, a new podcast about what it means to live through a time as uncertain as this one.
We sit down with politicians, artists, and activists to bring you depth and analysis from a unique Latino perspective.
The Moment is a space for the conversations we've been having as father and daughter for years.
Listen to The Moment with Jorge Ramos and Paola Ramos on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.